You've probably heard at some point that humans evolved from monkeys. It's an image we see everywhere, a straight line of apes slowly standing up and morphing into modern people. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly which animal we actually came from, and why you might personally be carrying pieces of a completely extinct human species inside your own DNA right now. The first correction to that classic lineup is that humans did not evolve from monkeys, chimpanzees, or any animal alive today. This diagram illustrates our actual lineage. At the base is a common ancestor we share with chimpanzees from roughly 7 million years ago. Our family tree then splits. One branch produced modern chimpanzees, while the other led to us. Visualizing our origins this way places us as one distinct branch among many, rather than the intended end result of a linear process. Right around the time of that initial split, a candidate called Sahelanthropus appeared, followed a few million years later by Ardipithecus, which was already showing early signs of walking upright. Then, about 3 million years ago, a crucial hominin arrived, Australopithecus afarensis, known famously by her nickname Lucy. Lucy was only about 3.5 feet tall. She had a brain a fraction of the size of ours, yet her skeleton shows she walked fully upright on 2 legs. We often assume that a large brain was the initial driver of our evolution. The fossil record proved the opposite. Walking upright came first, by millions of years. Because Lucy walked upright while her brain remained essentially ape-sized, researchers now recognize that the shift in our skeletal structure happened long before advanced intelligence. This physical change created the conditions for later developments, like tool-making and brain growth, to eventually follow. Around 2.5 million years ago, Homo habilis, literally handyman, showed up, being the first hominins to consistently make and use stone tools. After them came Homo erectus. They were taller, possessed much larger brains, and were the first of our relatives to leave Africa entirely. They eventually learned to control fire, leading to the appearance of our own species, Homo sapiens, roughly 300,000 years ago. But the timeline still has mysteries. In 2013, explorers deep inside a South African cave system discovered thousands of bones belonging to a previously unknown relative named Homo naledi. Homo naledi confuses researchers because it combines a tiny brain with hands and feet that look startlingly modern. Parts of our family tree are still being heavily debated and redrawn. The leading explanation for these changes ties back to climate. Over millions of years, Africa's thick forests slowly thinned out, turning into open woodland and vast grasslands. Walking upright used less energy, let them see over tall grass, and freed up their hands to carry food and craft tools. These environmental pressures drove the physical adaptations that eventually fueled our cognitive growth. For most of our history, Homo sapiens were not the only human species on Earth. Neanderthals were a separate human species living across Europe and Asia alongside our ancestors. Fossil and genetic evidence confirms that our 2 species interbred. This infographic breaks down the modern human genome. If your ancestry traces outside of Africa, somewhere around 1 to 2% of your DNA comes directly from those extinct Neanderthals. A separate relative known as the Denisovans, identified from a single finger bone found in a Siberian cave, also mated with early humans. That genetic integration was so thorough that today some populations in Papua New Guinea and other parts of Melanesia carry up to 4 to 5% Denisovan DNA. The answer to what animal we evolved from isn't a single creature, but a long, complex chain of relatives stretching back millions of years. Modern humans carry a biological history that includes several extinct relatives, meaning our DNA remains a living record of multiple human species.